Actually, it was a lot of productive work, and I enjoyed very much to be just a guitar player, to have somebody in charge for the sound, like Dennis was, and not think about it, just go for it and be creative. It was very much the creativity. It was like playing ping pong. One had an idea and then the other had the other idea, and it was just like adding up. It was really cool.
Is it your favorite sport, ping pong?
No, it's not. Oh yes, I used to play when I was young. Younger than now, of course. I am still young.
Younger?
No, my favorite sport is skiing. Yeah, I made a little clip when I was there for kind of getting doing a clip for Level 3-2. Exactly, it's true. It was the demo, and at that point it was Resurrection. But later on I changed it because I started writing the lyrics and nailing it down, and it was Insurrection was better. Well, I never had the feeling they didn't like it, but it was, of course, always compared to Land of the Free 1, and it was not Land of the Free 1. So you cannot really win, since Land of the Free 1 was a cult album. I didn't have the feeling that people didn't like it or something like that, because I think it's a great album. But of course, it has songs that you wouldn't maybe seeing from the point of view of Land of the Free 1 put under that trademark, because it's a bit different. I do, yeah.
And do you care about it, really?
Sure. I mean, it's like I wouldn't start to write different songs because somebody said, no, I don't like this or that, It's like it wouldn't change me. But of course, I take it to my heart, It's like I see the points, and there's depends on how fair it is and how true it is, Sometimes people write things to represent themselves, to make themselves more important, to find something to be negative about and all that. But I take serious the points where I can agree, because I'm not stupid, and I have my own. I'm my worst critic anyhow. So if I think this song is not so good, or this song, the part of the song, or the production, or this and that is not so good, and somebody mentions it, it's like stepping into an open wound, because I knew it before, but somebody found out too, and it's like, okay, I take that serious. Awful. I got used to it somehow. So,
do you feel like, I'm famous or?
Oh no. No, of course I'm happy when we are featured, when people, when you are somehow represented in the press. It's like sometimes when there's nothing happening, even with Gamera, you get like, for instance, I always get Rock Hard at home, the German version, and there's like 2, 3, 4 issues, and there's not a word about Gamera. I get like, we should do something, Of course, it's important for me. It's a great honor. It's a great pleasure. Of course, it makes me feel good, but it's almost too much.
I don't know if it's too much, because you created a style of heavy metal music.
Yeah, and at the moment we actually did it, we didn't really think we do. We just took whatever we got as influence from our influences from our favorites, and played it a little different, maybe a little faster, maybe a little more melodious, and all that, you know. Because when we started with Halloween in the beginning, first the mini LP, like we got trademarks like Iron Maiden on speed, and actually it was not so wrong. We loved Iron Maiden and we liked the twin guitar stuff, and so we just played things a bit different, and we sounded much more German. Well, no, sporadically, you know, sometimes we meet on festivals or somewhere, and then it's like hi and hello, and you know, have a drink, and that's it. With the success, it was difficult, yes. Well, it got to a point where I kind of couldn't really handle it anymore in some way, because we were becoming, when I left the band, we had become a bit too much into the girly pop magazine edge, you know, because metal was getting in that point. And I kind of felt strange doing that. So really, now I wouldn't mind these days, but at that time I couldn't really get it, because for me metal was always underground, you know, it was against the stream, it was rebellion and all that. So, and suddenly you get into the you know, you were like next to something like Tokyo Hotel or Duran Duran or something like that. It was like, ugh, no. No, I was through. I was, I had finished my college, my high school, and I had joined the army when we did the first recordings for Halloween, like the death metal sampler.
Yeah.
So I was already out of school then. And later on I started studying, but of course the music was much more important, so I quit studying. It was just some kind of natural development, you know. It was, I don't know. If I look back, the Walls of Jericho was pretty trashy, and it was a bit more influenced because I was listening to Venom, to Slayer, early Metallica, Bay Area thrash, and I liked it, and it got into the music somehow. And then later on, I think it was a kind of need to grow up a bit more. In the band, we were more into a bit more. Because when we started the production of Keeper 1, we were still like we were in some way, except for that we had a different singer, and the songs were a bit more, not totally wild as it was on Walls. It was a bit more grown up, and we started doing the production, and we wanted to have a sound that is a bit more defined, our playing and everything. So when we had the producers, Tommy Hansen, Tommy Newton, they kind of cut us a bit down to size. You know, not like that. It was like, hey, come on, play that riff like this, or you know, focus a little more. It was good for us. Of course, as a fan, there's always 2 points, you know. We got more success with Keeper than we did with Walls of Jericho, seen from that point. But for a fan that is into the trashy side, of course, Keeper is not so attractive anymore. But, you know, this is all individual opinions, and everybody should think what he thinks. Yes.
Okay.
It's not, but yeah, well, famous, it's about, yeah, sure, yeah, it is. but it's mostly not, you don't run through the street and somebody comes up, hey, aren't you Kai Hansen, can I give you some cocaine or whatever. It's more like people coming up at places you play and so, and there's some familiar faces, and some familiar faces have some good friends, and they by chance have something and they ask you if you want to have this or that. And of course you say, no, I don't need it. Okay.
Hello.
Nous sommes Unisonic. Nous sommes produisé un album en CD et il y a une hole in the middle and you can écouter to the album. I don't know. I have had French in school, as I said, for some years, but I forgot most of it. So if I would be here for another 2 weeks, I would be getting pretty good again, I think. The gentleman?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody who's nice and polite, of course, opening doors for others, not only women, like even old women. No, but being nice, looking at others, helping, and I think so, yeah, pretty much. Not always, but most of the time.